everyone, and welcome to the Long Distance Chronicles. Today I will be discussing how to maintain and manage your mental health while being in a relationship, primarily a long distance relationship. Number one is loving yourself. I think this is so important when you get involved in a relationship. Oftentimes we forget to care for ourselves, we neglect our needs, and we put so much focus on the relationship that we aren't thinking about ourselves. And in some aspect that can be good. It's really good to care for your partner, but at the same time you also want to care for yourself. There's that analogy that we like to use, such as the oxygen mask in the airplane. Kind of like putting on the oxygen mask on yourself before helping others. Kind of the same thing. You want to make sure that you're healthy and that you're stable and that your needs are being met, because that's what's most important. So really loving yourself and appreciating that time that you have to yourself to grow. So another thing that's really important to remember in a long distance relationship is establishing realistic expectations. I feel like this is something that is really helpful in a relationship, knowing that you have boundaries set and barriers set, and you know what's going to come, you know what's going to expect, and I think that helps alleviate and decrease some of those worries and anxieties and concerns that can come from being in a long distance relationship. For example, an expectation to talk to your partner 24/7 may not be a realistic expectation. However, knowing that I expect to talk to my partner at least once a day or 1 hour each day, that's a little bit more attainable and that's more feasible and it makes more sense. And having that expectation, that knowing that you won't always be able to talk with your partner, you won't always be able to see with your partner, that's really important to keep that in mind. And knowing that you are at a distance, and unfortunately it's hard and it's not easy. But setting in place those expectations and lowering your expectations can really help the mind kind of reduce some of those anxieties and worries that definitely arise. It's also really important to have a support system. Talk to family, talk to friends, stay socially connected with individuals. That's really important, is to maintain and keep your own sociability. Only isolating yourself with your partner can be not the healthiest. So it's really important that you maintain other outlets and are able to discuss with people, talk about your feelings, share your experiences with others and how you're doing, because they're there for you. And if they're your family and they're your friends, they should care about you. And another thing is support groups. I know there's ones in person that you can attend to through NAMI and other organizations, but I'll also put some online support groups in the description below. Another thing is, if those don't work or they're not your cup of tea, I know that counseling and therapy is also a great resource for individuals who just need that extra support and who need to talk to someone about their relationship. And it can be really helpful to manage through some of these difficulties and problems that arise with being long distance, and just having that person to talk to and go to can be really, really helpful. Creating a routine is also really important. Having that schedule and that consistency keeps you accountable for your daily chores and your daily tasks, and it also keeps you busy. I mean, the more busy you are, the more occupied you are, the less time you will be spending thinking about your partner or missing your partner. I mean, if you think about it, if you have a full day full of activities, you're not going to be sitting there worrying about what is my partner doing or what could they be doing or etc. That, all those worries that start to arise or that come about when we're alone and isolated and not really have a lot going on. That's kind of when those spirals of anxiety can come about. So it's really important to maintain busy and to have outlets with support systems and friends, and just have daily activities that you do, whether it's yoga or a trip to the grocery store or school or going to work or walking the dog. Just having those moments to go outside and do something that's meaningful can really help kind of take your mind off of the hardships of the long distance relationship, for sure. Another thing that's important is to set times to talk with your partner. Establish a schedule. When would you like to talk? It can be as simple as that. Maybe Thursday night is your designated 1 hour spot of the week to talk. And you always have that sacred time of the week. And if other times during the week arise or come about to discuss or talk or Skype, that would be wonderful. But just knowing that you have at least one specific time during the week to communicate, I think that can be really helpful as well, especially for couples like my boyfriend and I who are extremely busy and we have really random schedules. It can be really hard to pencil in that time to spend with each other. So having that planned, time to talk with each other can be really advantageous. Another thing that's helpful in maintaining your mental health in a long distance relationship is setting goals. Having something to achieve, having something to work towards is really important, and it can help distract you from those feelings of anxiety and worry and apprehension that arises from being in a long distance relationship. There's this acronym that we like to use for goals called SMART, and it is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time. So meaning it's like time achievable. For example, my goal is to lose 20 pounds in 4 days. That's not a realistic goal. But a more realistic goal might be losing 2 to 3 pounds over the course of 2 weeks, for example. Other examples of goals may be, improving your eating habits, eating healthier, including more fruits and vegetables into your diet, exercising more. I know exercise is remarkable for improving mental health and physical health for that matter. Reading. Maybe you don't like to read, or maybe you do love to read and you just don't get the opportunity to read. Reading is wonderful. Volunteering is also great. It enables you to get out with your community and connect with people and have that social component. Learning a new skill is also great. Maybe you want to learn how to play the piano. Maybe you want to learn how to draw. Maybe you want to learn calligraphy. I don't know. I don't know what you like. But, try something new. And maybe you won't like it. Maybe you'll love it. Also goals with school or work. Maybe you want to get straight A's. Maybe you want to do really well on an exam. Make those goals happen. Prioritize your study time. Make sure to, set realistic study time parameters. Also, getting enough sleep is essential. Making sure that you go to bed early, getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, if not more, because that's really important. When you're sleep deprived, you don't think as well, you're tired, you can't really concentrate, you're more moody. So sleep is really important. Another thing is decreasing your screen time. I know this is hard because your relationship is primarily through a screen, but the more that you can reduce on the screen, the better. Honestly, it really helps with mental health if you're able to kind of get away from the screen for at least, a couple hours of the day, or, set aside maybe 2 hours of screen time a day. And the other time you'll be out and about, or you'll be reading, or you'll be studying, or at work. This next tip might sound a little bit silly, but in those moments of panic or worry or anxiety that are coming, that arise during a relationship, I think breathing is really important. And just repeating to yourself, I'm okay. I know it's hard, but we will get through this. I think that is crucial. And just keep telling yourself those positive reinforcement thoughts is huge. And it can make such the difference. If you're freaking out and but you just are like, okay, I'm alive, I'm breathing, just concentrate on that breath, and it can really help. Another thing that may sound a little odd also is meditation. I know that might be weird for some people, but that can also be really helpful for others. And, it kind of enables one to center themselves and kind of be in touch with reality and just be present in the moment. And I know a lot of times when we're in a long distance relationship, we're thinking so much about the future and what's going to happen or what could happen. And that's where that anxiety piece kind of comes in, that we're not really thinking about the moment. And I think that's so important. And I think in moments that, when you do have anxiety or moments of worry, helpful things that can be advantageous can be like, journaling, writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your hopes, your ambitions, listening to music, maybe listening to a song that reminds you of your boyfriend, or happy moments together that make you smile, looking through pictures or watching videos of the two of you together. Another thing is there's apps that can help, support group apps or mental health group apps. My boyfriend and I, we actually met through an app called Talk Life, and I'll explain more about that in another point in time. However, we met through that application, and it's a wonderful way to express your fears, your worries, just talk about whatever. It's generally a non-judgmental community, and it's really supportive, and you can go on there any time of the day and address a concern. And it was so helpful for me in the past with my mental health issues, and it continues to be a really great resource. So it's called Talk Life, and it's a free app. Another thing that is really important, I think, that's often forgotten is I know it's hard and I know it seems weird, but to appreciate the distance, because this time that you have apart is so short-lived. If you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, your long distance journey may be 4, 5, 6 years at most. And if you plan on marrying your significant other, that's like 5, 6, 7 years out of a 60+ year marriage, hopefully. That's really not a lot of time at all. So it is hard. I know it is, but you can do it, and you can make it work and last. But most importantly, don't forget to take care of yourself, and don't forget to take care of your mental health. I'd love to hear what all of you do to, maintain and manage your mental health in your relationship. Let me know. Leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. We will see you later. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.